Well, if you've been keeping up with what's going on in the FGC, you would know this week has not been a good week if you're a Bandai Namco, Harada, and the whole Tekken Project team. Now, basically, they've had two things that basically went on this weekend that got fans kind of very, very upset, and we're going to go over both of them. So one has to deal with the Genmanji Temple. Now, Heihachi, as you know, he was released in Tekken 8, and with him came a stage that came with him as a character. Now, the thing about it that got everybody kind of rattled was it's not included. That stage is not included in the character pass, the ultimate pass, the deluxe pass, nothing. It's not included in any of it. So even if you pay like $100 and some for the Tekken game that made sure that you had all the characters and everything, you paid for all the extra stuff, you're not getting that stage. You're gonna have to pay the extra $4.99, $5 for it. Now, a lot of people in the scene sound off about this. So you see right here, Koenji, I think that's how you pronounce it, says even though the season pass is described as a character pass, Tekken not giving you the stage associated with the character feels underhand. Hopefully this will get changed because this is not it. Then you have popular Tekken player, content creator 5DX. He says they've said that they want the game to really last a long time, like a live service game. Think of the reputation damage this will do on top of previous damage. It's not the move. It feels so short-sighted. The player base is already small. The community is already angry, and word will travel fast. It'll be harder to attract new players. Now, since Tekken this came out, they've had like kind of issues when it comes to like monetization, the stores and stuff that they had that you could pay for items and stuff like that. Basically, had stuff in it that people was just like, this really ain't worth it. Why did you even put this in the game? Like, why am I spending money on a white ball? You know, and now another monetization issue has come up when it comes to you know, them not giving a stage. Now, if you go look at reviews for Tekken, it was at one point where reviews were mixed. You know, typically with these games you see positive reviews, but it's been mixed, and I think lately people have gone back and added more negative reviews that make it more mixed. So that's the first thing that actually came out with this. But somebody else gave like a certain perspective that is kind of interesting. So this person right here, Dale Walker, says, hi, game developers perspective here. I believe Tekken 8 showcases how some game fans are creating conditions for their favorite games to disappear. Here's why. The community is upset about a $5 DLC stage even for the character pass holders. But consider this, Tekken 2 and 3 cost $50 to $60 to buy in 1997, and Tekken 8 cost $50 to $70 in 2024. PS5 era development costs today range from $60 to $250 million, whereas GTA 3 on the PS1 was $5 million. With Tekken 8 selling 2 to 3 million units so far, the game probably isn't financially sustainable yet. So the $5 DLC and the $4 $8 DLC characters were clearly necessary. Harada has previously tweeted that a stage costs around $350K to make. So making it free or part of the character season pass will likely hurt financially. Taking that on paper is an astonishingly risky bet. It's almost delusional on paper and can only survive with current Tekken players throwing $5 at it every 3 to 4 months or aggressive growth. The fan base, while passionate, isn't growing enough and seems uninterested in the financial realities. They review bomb these sustainability efforts, then wonder why franchises like Soul Calibur and Virtua Fighter are gone. And then right here underneath he puts like what the different Tekkens actually sold, like how many copies and stuff that they sold. But yeah, so you know, a lot of people basically chiming in on this, and I think it's a really interesting perspective on it. You can see kind of how like both ways. It's kind of like some people go hurt either way. You could give the fans what they want, and then the company hurts, so the company does what's in their best interest, and the fans get hurt. Now, I really think it should have been a thing that probably should have been baked in, as far as like the people who really would have spent like $100 on it probably would have went on and spent $120 on it. So if you would have kind of like baked it in from the beginning and stuff like that, instead of like every single thing that's going to be everything that's coming out is going to be monetized, it probably would have helped a little more, instead of like every single thing that's going to come out now is going to have a price tag on it. So that probably could have helped. But y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section down below. And the thing that has been the biggest hit to the stomach is basically what's happened at this tournament. So basically TGU was going down this weekend, which is basically a Tekken Master event, was going down for to see who was going to get some tournament points. Some very heavy tournament points was on the line for to see who was going to get some, how standings were going to be for the Tekken World Tour that's coming up. This is the last event of the year, so a lot of stakes were on the line. This was the last Tekken World Tour event before the Tekken World Tour. I mean, for the Tekken World Finals. And basically what happened was there was a Chinese player called Xiao Qinchin, and basically he was from China. He made it all the way to top 8 before they was just like, hey, we got to disqualify you because Chinese players don't qualify for the Tekken World Tour. There's not a country that is eligible for the Tekken World Tour. So basically he got all the way to top 8, defeated all those people, not just him getting DQ'd, but he defeated all the people that he defeated to make it to top 8, including the person that he beat to make it in the top 8. And they basically said like, hey, look, we got to disqualify you. Now, this is basically a situation that really sucked, because really at the end of the day, it's kind of like one of them things that you wish. And I think Angry Bird said, no, Big Bird said this. He was basically just like, you know, why is it that when it was in Start GG, they didn't pick this up that he was in China? So you see right here, he says, I thought Start GG would tell you beforehand whether you're eligible or not to participate. No. Why was he allowed in the first place? This seems like an oversight from the management / Bandai, and the player should absolutely be compensated for what happened. So basically, yeah, if he's getting DQ'd and stuff like that, then he's not getting any payout or nothing at all. So he did all that work all that time, and it's possibly that he won't get paid out. And like you said, it kind of starts with like Start GG, like, you know, there should be some type of protocol set in place to where if he signs up, they should tell you beforehand, like, hey, you could, if you're like either one, if you compete in this event, you're not eligible for points because Sean's not eligible, or tell him he could not sign up for the event at all. But you know, they didn't allow that to happen. Then on top of that, at TGU, the event, it possibly could have been a thing to where they said, like, you know, they seen like he was there in the event and he shouldn't have been able to continue forward. But that's kind of like one of them things. This is kind of like an unprecedented situation. We hadn't really heard nothing like this happening before, so it probably just wasn't looking out for it. And of course, when you get to the top 8 and you're looking specifically at the players who made it, then yeah, they probably had realized like, dang, China isn't even supposed to be here. So it's kind of like an unfortunate situation. Now, a lot of people in the FGC are mad because they hate that, you know, different countries aren't eligible. You know, it's kind of like they're getting, you know, marginalized because of, you know, where you're from, that you're not able to be in the Tekken World Tour event. And going here to Xiao Qinchin's Twitter page, we see that he's tweeted about the whole situation. So he said, my first international event TGU team, thank you for all my supporters and Chinese Tekken family. Thank you to these 2 individuals for sponsoring me. I'm proud to be Chinese and continue to practice regardless of my results. And then he once again, he says, thank you to all the players who comforted me at the scene. Thank you. So very unfortunate situation. Crazy something like this had to happen. Y'all chime in the comment section down below. Y'all let me know how y'all feeling about this. But man, it's just, Bandai has really just been receiving so much flack and stuff lately. Tekken 8 is just really off to like a very rocky start. Not some, I mean, yes, people have to complain about the gameplay and stuff like that, but people have moved past that. But it's just things that just sit around like Bandai, you know. And then we know with Harada, when stuff like goes wrong with Tekken, people are adding him. But Bandai, you know, they're the ones, the big wigs that's really calling the shots. So, you know, he's kind of like stuck in an unfortunate situation. But y'all let me know how y'all feel about all this. I mean, it's just wonky, it's sad, but you know, unfortunate that happened to him. I hope they figure something out because, you know, shoot, I think we can go right here. Somebody added Harada and basically shouted at him and said, please fix this, you know, for the situation that had happened. They messaged him, please fix this, and then he said okay. Harada said okay, so you know, it's unfortunate, but y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section down below. Peace out.